Okay, it's 25 past 7, Saturday morning. I can't remember the date, but it's in May. And we are about to leave Port Augusta, the motel where I have been since this time, or actually last Saturday at this time I was leaving Woo Dinner, and that's when the troubles began. However, the car has been fixed. We have a new manifold on it, amongst other things, new fuel filter, hose. We should be okay to go. Let's go now. So far so good. When I came through here last Saturday, I was in very dire straits. I was crawling across this bridge, not knowing the severity of the affliction that the beast was suffering from. However, after that 1 week, this car feels like a new vehicle. So many thanks to Harry and Sook at Augusta Motors. Sterling job they did. Straight down this road we're heading is to Adelaide. That's the road I took last week to get off the highway. That really rough road where I decided to actually turn back is over in that direction there, and it runs on a triangle or almost a hypotenuse to this particular road, and it meets up with the Horrocks Pass road a little bit further down the track. Over to the right of me there, you'll notice that there is a big wind farm here, but there is also a gigantic solar panel farm here. There are literally what looks to be thousands of them. Right, we make a left turn now onto the B56 to Wilmington and Peterborough. So we won't be going to Adelaide, Sydney via Peterborough, and I'm going to be driving into the sun. Right, so this will be the first major test of the vehicle as we go up through Horrocks Pass, and I think I'm really pushing into a headwind. I can feel it, and you can see those propellers are spinning over there. Well, this is Horrocks Pass, and as you can probably imagine, I'm on tenterhooks just looking out for any sign, and I did notice a lack of, or what appeared to be a lack of power back there on the flat, which I'm putting down to a wind, but I don't actually see any evidence of wind, so I'm a bit wary now. Take me a while to get my confidence back in this vehicle until, you know, I've had a day of trouble-free motoring. I do remember when Kay and I were travelling this road many years ago with the Land Rover, towing a caravan. We were in the same sort of, well, we knew we had a load on the back. Doozy of a pass. Okay, now we turn right to go to Wilmington and Peterborough. Back there is Corn. We could have come that way, but it's once again over the hills, far away. So Peterborough is 88, Orroroo is 52. We're making for beyond. Well, there is the splendour of South Australia spread out before us. It's actually quite pretty countryside, this area. We're sort of in the well, we've come through the Flinders Ranges quite pretty country, as you can see. Well, I've been on the road for exactly an hour now, and apart from that little worrying niggle on the flats coming out of Port Augusta when I suspected that we were losing a bit of power, it actually towed the camper trailer up that hill with really plenty of power. I actually dropped it down, of course, into third gear. It was pulling, but the maximum speed up that hill is around about 75 around some of those bends, and down as far as low as 35. So the thing pulled up, it had the power in the gears, so, and it's ticking along nicely here at 2,500 revs, and we're sitting on our 93 k's an hour. So touch wood, it's good. We're about to enter Horrocks, which has some significance for me because the last time I was here I had my Land Rover and a wheel stud cracked and flew off coming into Horrocks from the other end, and then my brake servo packed in, and I ended up driving back to Albany all the way that we have come on this journey so far with virtually no brakes. It was like driving, when I put my foot on the brakes, it was like standing on a brick. So I remember Horrocks. This one here with the lights and the boat. You come around that bend and it was actually passing that caravan as he was coming around this bend. No wonder people die on the road. Okay, we're just coming into Peterborough. This is another pretty little town, and I do remember they have a little tourist office in a railway carriage, and when I did come through here a few years ago, the people in there were so nice and very, very helpful. I'm going to find somewhere to park this rig, and I'm going to make a cup of coffee. That's an hour and nearly an hour and a half. Well, it is an hour and a half, it's more, that I've been on the track. It's a railway town, this one. They call it Steam Town. Nobody's coming, that's good. Early in the morning. It is a pretty little town. There is the tourist centre. I don't know if it's picked that up. Very good. There were a few parking places off to the right and I missed them. So I'll just move a little bit further up the road here and stop to make my coffee. There are a lot of turns on this highway. This is now onto the Barrier Highway towards Broken Hill. And they creep up on you quickly. Okay, Broken Hill is 269. O'Leary is 152. Beautiful. This is another one of these little places called Oodlawirra. And I need to pull over actually because I need to tie down my camping chair. cover is flapping in the breeze. Well, I just left Oodlawurra, tied down my cover on my camping chair, and the next town is Yunta, Y-U-N-T-A, and that's 60 k's up the track. Must be about time we saw where we were going. It's because I'm driving towards the east and the sun is still low in the sky, we're getting this flaring on the front facing camera. So here is a little bit of South Australia from the rear. Well, I'm about I'll probably be about 28, 27 k's from Yunta at the present time, and I'm watching my fuel gauge. I'm sort of half expecting a better fuel consumption, but we threw it all out because we emptied a bit of fuel out changing the filter and what have you. So anyway, touch wood, everything is ticking along nicely right now. This is Yunta. Now I might top up my tanks here, just because I'm not sure what sort of consumption I'm going to get, and by topping up the tanks it will give me an indication. Yunta. Apparently there is a BP roadhouse coming up. It's mobile. Mobile. Okay, I might have to do a U-turn because my filler is on t'other side. It is a BP card's welcome. What's that about? Oh, I could have gone that way. It doesn't matter. Where's the diesel? Diesel's over here. Why don't I just do Ampol? Go back this way. It's always hard to decide what bloody pumps you're going to use. Okay, we'll say goodbye to Yunta. Fuel consumption 5.98 kilometres per litre, but that's a false figure. I'm sure it will be a lot better than that next time I fuel up, and there is no more fuel for 200 kilometres, which is Broken Hill. I just thought it prudent, getting into Yunta there, that I would change or fill up the tank, because it was down to a half. We had used up a bit, as I mentioned before. But the other reason I wanted to do that was to actually mix that additive thing that I put in the car before Harry even got to have a look at it, and I wanted to sort of stir that up to see if it will blow out any of the cobwebs. He didn't really think much of these additives, but it was in there anyway, and I need to, well, I'm assuming that that's why I had a slight lack of power coming across that windy swept thing just out of Port Augusta, because the car wasn't quite at really good operating temperature then, and it needed a good run to blow some of the crap out of the back of this exhaust, because Harry has recommended that I get a new exhaust system fitted to this car because of the crap that was coming out the back when it was in his workshop. So that'll be the next thing that I'll be looking at. Anyway, touch wood again. We're ticking along nicely now at 2.5, and we got 200 k's to go to Broken Hill. we'll get to Iron Knob first. Right, this is Manor Hill. And I might pull up. Shade of a coolibah tree, perhaps. Don't see many coolibah trees, but I see one up ahead, past the pub. Or maybe I should just pull over. Nah. I'm going to pull over here. Don't think anybody's in this little abode, and there's a nice little bit of shade. Look at that. Yay. Thank you, Karen. I think Karen's trying to take me home. I must reprogram. Right, we've just left Manor Hill. Now we're on our way to O'Leary and then to the border at Coburn, or as some people might pronounce it, Cockburn. Here's a lone little parking spot. Pull off with a single tree and a caravan under it. Oh, and it's got a shelter. Yay! Approaching O'Leary. Don't blink or you might miss it. However, it's a Saturday and O'Leary boasts a pub, which I was in last time through, and I had a chat to the landlord of the time. So there are a few caravans here. There's my friend in the truck, who's obviously pulling up. Look at that little yellow car. Beautiful. Hey, O'Leary pub. We're not stopping this time through. Now that's a wide open plain out there, isn't it? Flat as a tack. Well, not quite, because here's a little hummock. Here's a pretty spectacular looking bridge over the railway, isn't it? Ooh, yeah, maybe. Nice. Up and over. We can see Coburn in the distance. This is the border with New South Wales coming up, Coburn. There's not an awful lot to see. You actually have to turn left to go into the main part of town. Off to the left was the campground that I stayed in, where I remember the trucks belting through here during the night and kept me awake. We won't be stopping this time. Campground is there to the left. Oh yes, there's a caravan or so in here. Okay, this is Coburn. Here we go, it's official. New South Wales. Woohoo! We're here in outback New South Wales. Broken Hill 48, Cobar 505. I don't think I'll make it to Cobar today at 12:35. I've been on the road now for 5 hours and 10 minutes. Wilcannia 244. I could make Wilcannia. I shall have to stop at some stage at Broken Hill and just appraise where I would like forest area coming up. I'm going to pull in. I've got to get my wind cheater off. This cabin is extremely hot. Just letting a caravan know behind me that I'm going to be pulling. Oh, it's on the right. I think I stopped here once before. I'm just searching for the service station. To get to Wilcannia, I just keep going. Tibbooburra straight ahead, Wilcannia to the right. We're going to Wilcannia, not Tibbooburra. Just been diverted away from the main city centre, but that's fine, I don't mind that. Now we're turning onto the barrier highway again. I just sort of went in a little bit of a dog leg around the town, which suits me. For those who don't know, this is the Silver City that Jimmy Barnes referred to in the hit song K-Sam. Just another piece of useless information that I can supply. Now let's have a look. Wilcannia is 190. I can actually make Wilcannia. Cobar 454, White Cliffs 288. Ah, now we're into Spiceville. I love this, New South Wales. These are spy cameras up here that they take a photo of you and then they calculate your speed to the next lot, and then they'll happily send you a fine if you're over the limit. Bastards. I hate that. There's somebody walking. Oh no. He is walking. Goodness me. What's that about? Crazy people. I just passed the sign that said we're now in the Eastern time zone, so I now have to advance my clocks by 30 minutes, and that gets us onto Eastern Standard Time. So I shall remember to do that. So it's now a couple of minutes past 2. It is actually a couple of minutes after 2:30. Well, I'm not far away from a place called Little Topar, which once upon a time they filmed an episode, or part of an episode, of the comedy show Housies there with Mario Fennick and the cast of that oddball show. I'm hoping that I can actually camp somewhere there. It is supposedly a rest stop, but it's also a truck stop, and I remember once Kay and I were there with our caravan, we didn't stop, we passed through, but I'm not sure as to whether they actually have a camping ground there. I certainly hope so, because I know there's a lot of hard stand for the trucks and things there, but if not, I may have to press on just a little bit further. I just passed a sign, a handwritten or hand-painted sign that said Hazel Vale Campground 5Ks. I wonder what that's about. Anyway, here is Little Topar. I'm going to shut you off and turn the other one on. Little Topar Hotel. there's obviously not much to be desired as far as camping around here is concerned. So what I'm going to do, Little Topar Roadhouse, Outback, New South Wales. I'm going to pull in over here, go into the place, get some bottled water and find out about this other campground thing. Well, Little Topar, no, not for camping here, but we're going to go and have a look at this new place. Apparently the girl behind the bar in there said they've only just opened it up and they have powered sites, but she's never been there, so we'll go and have a look. I'll go through that one again because I swore. I just pulled up at this Hazel Mere or whatever they call themselves, new business apparently, and there's a sign there that doesn't tell you how far it is to the station. It also says bookings essential. Now, my objection to all that is, hey, if you're going to cater for travellers and there is very, very little camping areas out this area, you need to make it a little bit more user-friendly, and none of this crap about having to pre-book it or whatever and get online, because most people don't actually have access to the internet out here. Get that through your heads, please. Now, having had that little rant about the whatever they call themselves, just after it is a big blue sign that says stop, survive, you know, rest. And the next rest area is 40 kilometres away, so that's where I'm heading. I've just turned my watch over by a half an hour and it's now 3 o'clock, so I've got time, but it's just annoying, you know. I mean, you would think they'd get to have sort of uniform camping type sites along the road. They encourage travellers to come out here, and then the facilities aren't available. Anyway, we're just passing Waterbag Road, which takes you to Mutawinji National Park. That is beautiful. I did go up there once and stay at Mutawinji. I actually had the whole campground to myself, would you believe? Beautiful up there. If you ever get a chance, go Mutawinji. I have really been pushing it today. I've really put this car to the test, and it's touch wood, it's really stood up to the test. But because I've been stuck in Port Augusta for a week, I sort of feel like my whole trip has been foreshortened, and I'm trying to catch up. So that's why I pushed it today. I'd be interested to see how far. I think I did some research the other day, and from Port Augusta to Wilcannia is about 666, I think, from memory. I'll have to check it on the map. But this campsite, this free rest area, which is called Spring Hills, is probably about another 20 k's down the track. It was 40 from Little Topar, and it is apparently 74 from Wilcannia. So Wilcannia, that would mean that I would probably have done nearly 600 k's today, which is not too bad considering when I started out. So I probably could make Wilcannia if this particular campsite is not, once again, not suitable, but I would rather actually stop and make camp and air this camp and trailer tent out, because I put it back together about over a week ago and it was wet, so God knows what I might find. So I really need to air it out as soon as. I just passed a sign that said Wilcannia is 90, and I'm sort of averaging 90 kilometres an hour, so I could actually get into Wilcannia at 4:15 and find the campground, the camping caravan park, whatever. But we'll have a look at Spring Hill first and see. And for those who might be interested, that last fill, the consumption went from previously, as we said, 5.68 or something to 7 kilometres per litre. So we've made a vast improvement, even towing this weight at the back of the garage. So here we are coming into this Spring Hills rest area, which is, as I thought, just like a car park. Well, I've made it from Port Augusta all the way to here. This is the, God, what do they call it? Spring Hill rest area. I do remember calling in here once, a few years ago. So I'm right here. There's some Queensland people just rocked up and said, look, can we park our bus? There's very, very limited space here. Can we park your bus? I said, yeah, no, not too problem, not much of a problem, but just not too close, please. And they said, certainly not. So here we are.